This looks like a job for Superman.
Hey everybody, Rez the Collector here with another Superman related review. It's been a while since I've done a review and I've got a big pile of stuff that needs to be done. But I decided to do this guy. I actually just got him. I know that, I don't think he's in a lot of stores. I know that there is at least one other person that has him, and that's of course Stuart. Stu Murray 47. If you haven't seen his channel, How Did You Get to Mine Before You Got to His, go watch his channel. But I know that he has him. He hasn't done a review on him, but I haven't really seen this guy anywhere else. I haven't seen him in any stores. I actually found him on Amazon for 11 bucks, and I was like, I gotta have this guy. The Total Heroes line, as anybody who's probably watching this video knows, is a more kid-oriented line coming out from Mattel. They have more basic sculpts than we were used to seeing with the DC UC line, and then much more basic than anything you're going to see from DC Collectibles. But there's been a few figures that have come out lately that I think the basic sculpt really fits well with. And two of them, of course, are going to be in Superman-related figures. My favorite figures, of course, are going to be Superman-related. The one previous to this that I think really fit this sculpt really well was the Bizarro figure. Bizarro has traditionally been a very blocky character, more so in his face than anywhere else in his body, but being in the Total Hero style really fit Bizarro. Now, when I saw, because I believe Stuart posted a picture of this guy, when I saw this guy, I was like, wow, that is a really good version of Steel. Steel is another figure that really fits the Total Hero style very well. Again, it's still a basic figure. Even his armor is very basic, but I love the way that they've done it. I love the way that the boots are. I love that big S on the chest. It fits this style very, very well, and I'm really glad that Mattel gave us this figure. One thing I will say is his hammer is huge. The DC Direct version of Steel, of course, I've got that. I've got it both in package and out of package. It looks like a little baby hammer compared to this guy, and this guy, of course, is a smaller figure. And I really love how huge that hammer is. It's just that thing would make Thor's hammer like wet itself. It's just it's awesome. So as you can see, I've still got them in package here. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to turn on my little whirligig thing, and we're going to get a nice 360 of it in package, and then I'm going to pause real quick and get him out of the package, and we're going to take a look at a 360 there, and then we're going to talk about the figure in general. So let me start my little whirligigger here. If I can reach it without knocking the camera and or the table over. Now, as you can see, basic packaging. We've just got a basic clear window with the backing board there. On the back, I'm going to show you this before we cut out and go to the out-of-package figure. On the back, the way his arm looks, it looks like more like a cyborg than Steel. Now, Steel is a man inside an armor suit. He's basically DC's version of Iron Man. And that right there with all those cables doesn't look like there's an actual human arm in there to me. It looks like something that was maybe designed for the Victor Stone figure, the Cyborg figure, and somehow made it on the back of the Steel one. I mean, even look, he's even got the center piece in his chest. Let me stop this so we can take a look at that back piece. He's even got almost an Iron Man circle right there in his chest with the arc reactor. So I don't know what they were going for with this on the back, but it definitely does not look like there's a human arm in there. And John Henry Irons, as far as I know, is a human inside a suit. Now, my comic knowledge ends somewhere in the mid-90s. I've picked up some of the compiled issues of New 52, but nothing that's really concerned Steel. So maybe he is more of a cyborg now, but I would think that they would stay away from that, considering we basically already have that exact same character in Cyborg, who is now a member, or was a member, or whatever's going on with the Justice League. He had basically taken the place of Martian Manhunter when the New 52 Justice League came out. So we had Cyborg in there instead of like Martian Manhunter. We still had Aquaman, which, you know, I'd rather had Martian Manhunter and Cyborg than Aquaman, but what are you going to do? But yeah, this looks very strange to me, and maybe somebody can enlighten me in the comments about if he is missing his arms or something, but it seems very, very strange to me that they would do this. And again, I almost feel like this is some concept art for the Cyborg figure more so than John Henry Iron Steel, just the way that looks to me. But again, I could be very wrong. My wife, God help her, tells me I'm wrong all the time, or God help me, whatever. I'm married, so I know I'm wrong a lot. Yeah, let's go with that. All right, now as you can see here, we've got a little bio on him. John Henry Irons, affiliation, Superman of America and the Justice League, his base of operations. It's not real clear there, is it? There we go. And then his special abilities. And then we've got some other figures in the line. Of course, Batman and Superman have been out since the beginning. And then, of course, we've got the Hawkman figure, which is actually a pretty cool looking figure in and of itself. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this, guys, get this figure open, and we'll take a much better look at him. I will be right back. Alright, guys, we're back. And as you can see, I've got him out of the package. And I just want to talk a little bit more about this type of figure. It is, again, the Total Heroes line. And this is a mass market figure. It's meant for big retail chain stores, and it's meant to appeal to parents buying toys for their younger children, something that can be played with and enjoyed, and not necessarily meant for myself and the rest of you guys in the community or girls in the community. It's not a collector market figure. That being said, though, out of the package, I gotta say I really dig on this guy. I have 4 figures in this line. I've got the first Batman, I've got Superman, Bizarro, and now Steel. And one thing I do want to comment about is there are at least 4 versions of Batman already in this line. And that, I'm going to say, kind of irritates me a little bit. I also went to the DC Collectibles website, DC Entertainment, or whatever it's called, and counted, just for the hell of it, just for my own, there was 102 figures and statues on the page. Out of that 102, 50-some, over half, were Batman or Batman related. Now, I understand that it's the 75th anniversary of Batman. I understand that Batman is huge, but Superman is huge too. Superman's 75th anniversary was last year, and we didn't see anywhere near the amount of Superman products that we're seeing with this year with Batman. There's like 2 separate 4-packs of Batman figures. We did not see that with Superman. And people can say, well, we've had the Superman through the ages, but we've had the Batman through the ages as well. I actually just saw that the other day when I picked up that Snow Globe statue. They had the Batman through the ages there for $50, which is a really good deal for it. I didn't have the money to pick it up, really didn't have the money for the Snow Globe either, but it's just a little bit frustrating that already in this line, we have 1 version of Superman, the new 52 Superman. And we have 4 versions of Batman. We have the original Batman they put out, Detective Batman, which has the blue color scheme. We've got the 3-pack Batman, which is a black Batman with the gold ellipse on his chest, and we have Batman Beyond. Now, in Superman-related figures, we do have 3 Superman-related figures, I guess 4 if you count Lex Luthor. We've got Superman, we've got Bizarro, we've got Steel, and there is a Lex Luthor figure out there now. Now, the way I'm separating this in my mind is that there's 4 versions of Batman. We technically only have 1 version of Superman, just the new 52, and then some Superman-related figures. Batman, there's 4 freaking Batmans. I know it's a little frustrating for me that Bats gets all of this merch and all of this stuff, and sometimes it's hard to find some really great Superman stuff. There's stuff out there, and all of us have these in our collection. You know, you've seen my collection videos, you've seen Mike's, you've seen Travis, you've seen Stewart, you know, all these guys. We've got some great collections. But if you were somebody who wanted to go out and start collecting Batman stuff, it would be so much easier for you. So much easier. And I'm sorry I went off on a little rant there, but it really does. It annoys me that they just keep pushing this. I mean, Superman and Batman are the two biggest draws. They're the two biggest toy sellers, but I'm going to let it go. I'm going to concentrate on this figure. I apologize. I jumped up on my soapbox, and I apologize to any Batman fans out there. I'm not begrudging you the stuff that you get for your character. I'm a fan of Batman. I do have a very small Batman collection, but you got to feel where I'm coming from there. All right, like I was saying, out of the box, simple figure, meant for kids, still really digging on this guy. One thing I did notice is the cape, while it's still a straight cut and tack cape, it does feel like it's a different material, a little bit better, a little bit thicker material than we had seen with the previous figures. Namely the Superman, the Bizarro, and the Batman that I do own. You can definitely tell that there is a feeling of cheapness to those capes, and this one just feels a little bit different to me. I could be wrong, but it feels thicker to me and a little bit heavier, and I saw them do something different with this that I didn't see them do with the Superman or the Bizarro or even the Batman. Is inside the cape was taped down, and I don't recall that being that way with the other figures. Again, I could be wrong, but it seems like they've gone with a different material with the capes now. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my rotating display again so we can get a good 360 of the figure outside of the package, and then we're going to go ahead and talk specifics. So let me just lean forward here and try not to knock everything down like I usually do. And as you can see on that hammer, it is gigantic, and I really do like that. And one thing with such a simplified and blocky figure that Mattel did take the time to do was they put a little bit of detail on that hammer, and we will take a look at that. Now you can see in the 360, he's got what looks like a much wider cape than we got with the Superman figure, kind of as wide as we saw with like the Batman figures. Again, simplified, but great in its simplification. So let me go ahead and turn this off. There you go. All right. First off, as I was already talking about it, let's take a look at that hammer. As you can see here, they did put, I mean, it's not a lot of detail, but I do love the cracks that they put in the hammer. Just trying to get a clear image on that. Now, it is just a straight hammer other than that, but I do love that they put that little bit of detail, not on the top or the bottom or the sides, but just on each side here and here. We've got that kind of cool little cracked look. Now, he's only got one hand that he can hold the hammer in, and that's going to be his left hand. The right hand is a standard fist. I'm going to go ahead and take the hammer out. He does hold the hammer rather tightly, which is a good thing. So let's take a look. Starting at the head, we do, of course, have a ball-jointed head, which doesn't move much at all. We got a side to side, but he doesn't really want to go up or down at all. We've got ball-jointed shoulders, and each of these shoulder pauldrons here are on their own little pivot. So no matter where you have the shoulder, you can pivot that back into place to kind of make that armor look a little bit cooler. We've got standard bend at the elbow, and then like every other figure in this line, we've got the rotation. Okay, seems like I lost my light here somehow. So we've got that rotation at the elbow and the bend at the elbow, and then we've got rotation again here at the wrist. Now, we've got rotation here at the waist. Now the legs, I was a little bit worried about these pieces here kind of inhibiting leg movement, but they really don't. They feel like they're a firm piece of plastic, but they really move well with the figure. It gives you a lot of movement. You can really get some good posing out of this guy. And I think that's going to be helpful for anybody who likes to use any type of DC figure for something like a dynamic display. You'll be able to get some good posing out of this guy. He stands really well in a variety of poses. And that's really something that's a problem with. A lot of the figures out there are meant for display. They're meant for us collectors. And most of us keep them in the museum pose. One, because room. I mean, you can't have a lot of dynamically displayed figures and still have room to display everything. You kind of have to keep them in that museum pose in order to be able to fit everything that you have. And even then, you're probably not going to be able to fit some things like I can't. But if you're looking to have some dynamic displays, this and the other figures from these lines are really great to have because you can put them in a variety of poses. They are very stable in those poses, and they look very cool on display. As I was saying, the legs have a standard T-joint. As you can see, these pipes, or whatever you want to call them here, are not inhibiting him whatsoever. He does have just standard knee bends. That armor on the knee plate does not pivot like the shoulder one does. And then we've got back and forth ankle rockers. Now, taking a look at the back of the figure, it is very simple in the back. Basically everything that's covered by the cape. They really didn't put a whole lot of detail in. There is a little bit of lines. Of course, I've got the trademark of DC and Mattel here. So very simple figure, yet I think that this was, in my book at least, a success for Mattel. I really like the figure. This particular character really fit the Total Hero style. And for me, it's a win. They did a really good job on it. Really great seeing this figure come to life in this line. Now, agree with me, disagree with me, let me know in the comments. I am trying to reply to everybody. Please forgive me if I don't. Time just gets away from you sometimes, but I do like to read every comment. I do read every single comment that's put on there. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. I do put out collection videos. I pull out reviews. I'm trying to get really back into it. It's been a while. I've been slacking, but I am back into it, guys. Don't worry, more videos are coming. Of course, this is Rez the Collector. I want to thank you for watching, and you have a wonderful day.